Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk Procurement, the only show you need to master the art of procurement. Let's go. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of your favourite procurement podcast. With me, aka Luke 1, with me, as always, is Luke 10, the fan favourite, the pod favourite, and the CIPS icon. How are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm alright, mate. I'm a bit bamboozled as to what's going on here.
We have done Luke 10's results live in this episode. So, tuck your shirts in, sit down, put your belt on, put your harness on, put your helmet on, because this is going to be one bumpy ride, boys. Let's go.
And also stay tuned to hear some podcast updates. Hashtag format switch. We'll do the bulletin at the end, so stay tuned for that as well.
Brilliant. You missed a bit where I said in between that I'm incredibly sad and really need your support.
Yeah, well, I got you, bro. Don't worry.
Thank you.
I'm here. I'm here to fight your demons with you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I do need some help with that. But obviously we're here today to talk about your demons.
Yes, indeed.
The essay exam. So have you genuinely not even checked yet? I feel like you have.
I've not checked. We've got a group chat with our cohort, and people have been putting their results in there.
So you got a good feeling they're up.
Well, I know. Yeah, I know. People have said that they're out in the system, and I had to put a bit of motivational. People were getting a bit stressed about their results, and they're saying, "Oh, well, it's Friday today." People are saying, if I open them, am I going to ruin my weekend? So, as my role as a sort of, the motivator of the class, I put in the chat, win or lose, we're on the booze. So
turning it into like a football away day, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was an acceptable comment to make.
Have you got a little attachment upgrade for your mic?
No.
Oh, was that little front thing, the big black thing in front of the tip? Was that always there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like it. Yeah, it looks decent. Looks half professional.
Yes. Yeah, but also my hair doesn't look professional. Recent trim about 2 hours ago.
No, the hair's alright. Just the beard's a bit interesting shape. Yeah.
Well, I got her to do a weird shape.
Yeah, they've gone a bit too much under here.
That's
so
what I asked her to do.
When you're face forward, your double chin comes down, but it's not. It's got no hair on it. It's like a bald sack.
But that was on purpose because when I went to Turkey, he shaved it really low, so then it just looked like a hairy sack was dangling down.
I guess it depends whether you prefer it bald or hairy, doesn't it? Really. But
yeah, I suppose.
I'm gonna go for the old mid.
Mid. Yeah. Your beard is getting a bit longer.
It's an illusion.
Your total hair's increasing.
It's a bit of an illusion, my friend. The camera adds sort of 5 or 6 centimeters onto the length there, and also
that's good information to know.
I have to keep the beard to make up for the kind of recession that's going on up top. It feels a bit like the 2008 crisis where it's just all going down, So
yeah, no one's investing in your hair.
No, the only people that might be Turkish, investing in the saviour, the salvation.
Yeah. As you know, but as the listeners probably don't know, I went to Turkey recently, and on the flight back, there were a lot of people who had just had their hair done, just had their noses done, and yeah, I guess going to Turkey in January is kind of
a bit like Stoke on a Monday night, isn't it? It's a bit of a random thing to do.
You know me, random is my third middle name.
What did you learn in Turkey that you can share with the listeners? What kind of insights have you got?
What language, culture? Give me
just something to make these guys better procurement professionals. Let's say cultural differences, anything.
To be fair, I did do some negotiation in the bazaars while I was out there. I don't really know if I got a good deal. I was sort of just like, I just went into the negotiations and wanted some money off. Like I didn't really because it's difficult when you're negotiating in a foreign currency, I think, because they know, or like they can say a price and that they don't have to translate it, whereas we would have to sort of do a rough calculation in our head while we're standing there
Yeah.
and think, what does this actually mean in my currency? So if it's like, oh yeah, this is 600 lira, you're like, well, I'm going to have to work out how many pounds that is.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, that sounds like a lot.
I think it's about £12.50.
Oh, right. I would have been going, absolutely not. Take me down to like 10 lira
Yeah.
without even understanding the actual.
So this might make it a dated ep, but I think the current price is about 44 lira is £1.
Oh, okay. Okay. Anybody guess the day? Guess the date of this episode recording, and we might give you a
44
prize.
liras and 78 cents or whatever they have. No, they don't do that. They just go. They keep it whole numbers, which I like.
Nice. I once negotiated a deal for my sister in Turkey. I actually sold her for 3 camels and
Nice.
a tub of baklava. But my mum was fuming, and I literally got kind of pulled out of the shop and got a bit of a whopping afterwards. She said I genuinely didn't realise that the shop owner was being serious. He was like, "How many camels for her? How many camels?" And I was like, "Well, 3 surely. That's a good amount." But yeah, I got a bit of trouble from mummy then. So it's results, but also you need to give a little bit of an insight into what the result is for, right? Because
Right. Okay.
we went quite deep into the first essay that you did, but the second one, I
We
think,
did.
give us a little, like an overview.
Yeah. Yeah. And to link on that as well, I wanted to come out and make a public apology for the last, what was us talking about the first assignment. I don't know why. Maybe I was in a good mood at the time, but I came across as really. I mean, it may surprise you to learn that we listen back to these apps, but I think I came across as I don't know what the word is, but just like, those people where you just like, oh, piss off, oh, shut up, mate. Why are you talking like that? Why are you so
really?
positive about? I thought that about myself because I was
Wow.
kind of talking really. I don't know. I was thinking. I think I made it sound really easy.
Can I use
Made the first one sound easy.
Can I use a little term that I've learned over the kind of last few weeks?
What, prick?
No, it's nothing that bad. Entitled?
Mm,
Would you say you felt an entitlement to just be gifted your
think.
SIPS?
No, I
His
don't
face,
think
by
that's
the way,
the right.
he 100% thinks the word entitlement is so much worse than prick. He's absolutely fuming.
No, because I don't think entitled describes it right. I think prick probably describes it right. You can be an entitled prick, yeah, but entitled I think it's something like, I would define it as like someone who thinks they've got a right,
Yeah.
a right to pass it. Whereas I don't think that's not what I mean.
You did say there were 6 rights of procurement. The 6th one was you getting your SIPS, wasn't it?
Yeah. No. Basically,
okay, well,
let's just go with prick then.
all right. Well, I didn't agree to that, but seeing as you're the entitled one, we'll go with prick.
Yeah. Right. This is my apology. I'll choose the language. Thank you. So I was a bit of a prick
now,
in the
aren't
last
you?
one. Yeah. But basically, I think I came across as, oh yeah, it's just so easy. All you need to do is this and then that and then let's shut up, Luke 10. Come on. So that's my apology. I wanted to start off and say, if you're struggling with it, then don't worry, because so am I. And I really found that with this second one.
Okay.
I think, in fairness, I think so the difference between the first one, which I don't know if I'd say I enjoyed it, but I didn't. Maybe I thought it was going to be worse than it was. So the difference between that one and this second module, which we're going to do the results on today, is I think the content's more difficult, but also, so as a reminder, you do 2 classroom days for each module. And the classroom days for the first one, I was really focused on the content right, I was sort of like, let me put all my other notifications on mute so I'm not distracted by stuff, not look at my phone. Whereas for this one, the second module, I had something else that was going on in the background that was urgent that I needed to also do while I was in the session. Work thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't just like riding a motorbike and I don't know. Yeah, going to the shops for a pint of milk on the motorbike with this in my ear. So I did make it harder for myself by not fully concentrating. And you'll like this as well. The third module, which is in progress currently as I speak, I didn't even go to the CIPS session.
So you're getting less and less committed.
So
more and more entitled. What is happening?
But I'm slowly making it harder for myself. I can't remember if we said, but I got 51% from a pass mark of 50 for the first one, and I decided that was enough. I'm going to make it harder for myself. You know, I've got 1% to spare, right? So,
well, we'll find out by the end of this episode.
Honestly, you know, there's people that like say, "Oh, I think I failed," and it's just like, well, you don't really think you failed, but you're just saying it to lower expectations, right? I really don't know this second one. I have no idea whether it felt like a pass or a fail. The actual writing of sorry, I should talk about what topic it is, shouldn't I?
You should, yeah.
So, can I remember? So the second module was commercial management in procurement and supply. And the essay question was to evaluate global commercial strategy within my company.
Okay.
You okay with that so far?
Yes.
What we had to do was talk a lot about strategy. It's coming back to me now, which I found quite tough. So there seemed to me to be it seemed like it wasn't very linked. I think I felt that in the session that it's sort of like, oh, we're talking about strategy, and then 5 minutes later we're talking about supply chain.
Yeah.
And then what I don't think I really realised was that you were meant to link how your organisation's strategy impacts what you do with your supply chain.
I see, yeah.
So that was tough, but I think once I got my head around that, it made it a little bit better. But that's why I say I'm not really sure how this assignment would have done. I wouldn't be surprised if I failed. I think I'd only be surprised if I got a really high mark. It didn't feel like a high mark. It's either a fail or a very close pass.
I had a feeling that was what you were doing when you apologised to the listeners. I thought you were teeing yourself up for humiliation on this pod. To be honest,
If I get 100%.
How many words was it?
3K? I think.
3K. And does that include things like cover page and, I don't know, like,
no,
call it the references?
No, so what's included in that is effectively, I mean, there might be exceptions, but basically what you create. So what is it? I mean, I think we did talk about this in the other one, so I don't want to go over it too much, but I think it's the intro, the executive summary, the main body, the conclusion, and the recommendation.
Cool.
So it's not references, bibliography,
The
cover
supporting
page,
stuff.
contents page, the supporting information, right? It's just I guess the stuff you get marked on, right? So yeah, it was a lot about strategy and about organizational structures as well. That's part of it, and also a bit about supply chain and a bit about finances in supply chain as well, which was slightly harder to talk about.
In what sense? Like finances in how financially stable your suppliers are, or as in?
Well, maybe that's the route I should have took it on, but I didn't. Yeah, I didn't take it on that route. I sort of talked about pricing models, and how that can impact the behaviour of the companies in the supply chain.
Yeah.
So
what's interesting, I don't know, you probably missed the window to kind of talk about the current affairs, but obviously the big DT is now back in the presidential seat.
He is indeed.
And I think if, for example, if you'd agreed a deal in, with an exchange from GBP to USD,
yeah,
and then old DT gets in, the USD becomes a lot stronger, and all of a sudden it's costing you, 5-10% more because you didn't peg the exchange rate, or you didn't secure a pre-agreed rate earlier.
See, this would be a perfect conversation about 2 months ago.
Yeah, it probably would have been good, wouldn't it? Would have been helpful.
Anyway,
but look, the whole idea is that you need to earn your CIPS, right? I'm nothing but a Yoda sitting there in your kind of corner, but I'll only help you after the fact. So I'm kind of like a useless Yoda.
Useless Yoda.
Yeah.
Luke 1, aka useless Yoda.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I like that. I mean, basically what this sort of ramble has been about is me sort of trying to lower expectations, but I really don't know where. So I got 51% last time, and pass mark again is 50%, and I felt less confident in this one.
Okay, can I ask you a question based on what you've told me so far, and then hopefully we can teach the listeners something, and then after that, stay tuned, listeners, because we will then go to the results live. Well, live as we're doing it now, obviously not for you. After, so I'm just going to ask my question if that's all right.
Yeah.
When you mention the word strategy, what is that in CIPS terms, or in the kind of context of this essay? What do they mean by strategy? Because obviously it's a nice sounding word, isn't it? We all want to be strategic, but what does that actually kind of look like?
So a lot of the things that was in the classroom day was around corporate strategy. So kind of, I guess not strictly procurement related stuff, more stuff about like I don't know, differentiation. How does a company make money, and what's your company going to do to make it different from its competitor, right?
Yeah.
How's it either gonna make more money or spend less money? And it split it up into what's the word? Development of strategy and implementation of strategy as well. Those were kind of two key and separate areas as well, right? So, I mean, as I say, you can probably hear it as well. I found it a little bit tough. It was kind of hard to. I mean, there's loads of different models about strategy that you can incorporate and you can talk about, but yeah, I found it quite hard to link to procurement.
Yeah.
I found it hard to link to my job.
If I take the grandpa chair for a second and I say, well, back in my day, when I was doing the essay exams and strategy came up, it almost felt a bit wishy-washy and a bit kind of like, not like you're making it up, but just a bit like nice to haves. But strategic, that's what strategic thinking kind of is. It's almost like those stupid statements that are just so outrageous, where you're just kind of saying, I want to be the number one lid flicking widget producer in India for the next 10 years. And then that's your statement. Or it's not even that. It's not, I just want to be the best lid flicking widget in the world, or something outrageous like that. Or, we want to be minus negative carbon neutral. We want to be filling oxygen into the air or some shit like that.
It did remind me a little bit, well, definitely agree with what you say, but it reminded me a little bit of a warehousing module that I did in level 4. And it's kind of like, I don't know if it was, maybe it's just hard to make content about that sort of stuff, or the content that you can make is kind of like, it's one of those things that seems like common sense, but you don't know it until you learn it, right?
Yeah. I mean, strategic thinking is what all the big boys do, isn't it? The big bosses, the boss men and boss women, and that's where, when you get to that stage, you're thinking about those kind of long-term directions of the companies and stuff. And if we go back to that example, like, we want to be the number one lid flicking widget supplier in India, or provider in India. Well, that's going to change your approach as a supply chain manager, right? You're going to look at your suppliers and go, well, who's going to help me ship to India? How am I going to deal with the currency exchange rate? Am I better off producing in India? Why are we even thinking about India if we're all based in the UK? Things like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, which is where I would have gone with it. However, module 3, the one I'm currently doing, is about global strategic supply chain management.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, how do I not go off track?
They definitely overlap, but they overlap for you because you work in a company that has overseas operations, right? Not everybody doing CIPS will be in that same position.
Yeah, true.
But equally, the global supply chain management is, what can you put in a contract to help reduce risk? What can you do in terms of, because obviously you can't just go over to Taiwan every other month and visit your suppliers and make sure they're not sweatshops. But when you're doing your due diligence, you can kind of go, well, can they give us a tour of the place, a virtual tour, something like that? Or can we actually just go with a supplier who's near shore as opposed to miles offshore?
I suppose it's similar to what you would do for onshore, but just with extra checks and balances, right?
That's it. Yeah, that's it. And everyone knows there's certain like indexes. So there's bribery and corruption indexes online where you can go and check which countries are at high risk of being bribed or corrupt, and you then don't want to trade. Well, you might, but you probably shouldn't trade with a country that's quite high on that register, or a dictatorship, for example. Do you want to be doing business with them? So just different considerations, really.
Yeah.
The moment you've all been waiting for, especially you, Luke 10.
How do you want to do it as well?
So I want you to share your screen.
Yeah.
Give me control, and then just leave the room.
I'll close my eyes.
Yeah, close your eyes. Yeah, don't leave the room. I won't be able to call you back.
Where's my screen? Do you think we've gone over it enough then, in enough detail?
I think so. Yeah, I think, look, if people are interested in the strategy type of thing, then we can definitely do an episode just covering that as a topic in general. And in the same way that we can do FAQ. So if you've got any questions about how the essays work, how that kind of engagement is, and how Luke 10's getting on with it, you know how to get in touch with us. But just in case you don't, you can contact us on
text
or
Instagram.
Text us button in the description below, using our Instagram link, which is something_something procurement something, and then the best one of all is our email address, which is
that is 2lukes1sip@gmail.com. That's the number 2, Luke's plural, the number 1, CIP@gmail.com.
Fantastic.
So, I have to give
loaded.
you control, don't I?
Yeah.
The control.
This is crazy.
I'm a little bit worried that, again, I think I said for the last one that I just uploaded a selfie of me by accident, or didn't upload the right document or the wrong version or something. Yeah.
You uploaded a podcast recording instead. I need control, my friend.
Did you request? Shall I deny it? And then we don't have to know the results.
This is my favourite bit for you guys, listeners who can't see him. He's absolutely bricking it. He's the
results are on the top screen, and I'm looking directly at you, so I can't see. Are you in control?
I'm in control.
Are you
my exams and results. How do I know it's on the big screen and not the little one?
You'll have to trust me.
To be fair, you're trusting me enough to give me control of your screen. So I think that's fair. It's a little bit slow though, so bear with me. Sorry, to build up the suspense a little bit. Maybe just tell the listeners about your day or something like that.
I'll try and do some educational CIPS content.
All right.
It's kind of weird though, the way it's structured on a side note, because you Or at least for these first three modules anyway. I haven't looked at the schedule for the rest of them, but you get the results of the one you've just done after
Yeah.
you've started the next one. So, for example, I'd started module 2 by the time module 1 results came out, and I haven't started yet module
Yep.
3 by the time module 2 results will come out.
Shit, man. Okay. Do we just? What happens if you fail? By the way, do we just end the podcast? Like,
No, you can do some sort of re-motivational. You can kind of make me feel a little bit better and tell me where I went wrong, how I can improve.
I just think, look, if and when that moment happens, I think we just end the episode, cut it like right now, and that's it. Never have another LTP episode again. Just to put a bit of pressure on your shoulders.
No. That's the opposite of what we said last time, didn't we? We said once I get MCIPS, then the podcast ends.
Well, it doesn't.
That's tied
it doesn't
into the
end.
contract.
It doesn't end. I just
Or
disappear
I
into
leave.
smoke and ashes, and you take the mantle.
You've been usurped.
Yeah. So I've got the result. I've seen it. I saw it a couple of minutes ago. I'm kind of scared to tell you.
Oh,
to be
you saw it a
honest.
couple of minutes ago. Oh god.
Yeah. So if you look up at the screen,
You want to look?
you can look. Yeah.
Oh.
That's what happened when I tried to access your
Access
performance
denied.
report. Yeah. So I
Okay.
tried to access the performance report to see what went wrong, and it came up with access denied. So it must be
What
terrible.
went wrong? Hold on.
Oh, did I say that? Look, listeners, make sure you're sitting down for this because it's rough. Right, I'll read it in reverse order, okay, as a percentage. 2.
Is that it? Just 2%.
That's it, 2%, yeah. 6.
Wait, 62?
You got a 62%, my friend. Congratulations.
Is that
There
the
we
right
go.
one? Make sure.
Oh yeah, no, that's
62%.
last year's one. 62%, mate.
Damn. Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
Strategic waffle is your bag. Sounds of it.
How do I? Can I like sign in from a different? Merit as well. Merit.
So you've gained 11% despite doing less.
Well, I don't know if I did less, but I just felt like I didn't. I don't know if I didn't understand it as much. I guess that's the benefit of doing one before, right? Is because I used the feedback that I got from my last one in this one.
Yeah.
So
Took some of it on board.
yeah, I took at least one bullet point on board, but I'm really happy with that.
Mate, congratulations. It's one step closer. I mean,
Yes.
that's what does that mean now? You've got 3 left? 4 left?
Nah, more than that. Wait, maybe 4 left.
I'm looking at the pending on your screen.
So
For those of you who
there's
aren't
six
familiar, by the
modules
way,
in total.
Luke 10 did do his level 4 before starting the essay route. So he did the level 4 via exams. He's got all that under his belt. And he's now done 2 of the 6. Was that what you were just saying?
Yes, 2 of the 6.
That means you are 33.333% of the way through your level 5/6.
Nice.
Quite nice, isn't it?
I'm 30% of the way to MCIPS.
Yeah.
I don't think it's 30% of the effort because the last 2 essays are longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of results, in
Happy with
terms
that.
of what's been banked so far,
You've actually got something in the bank now, so that's positive, isn't it?
yeah. And as I said, I made it harder from the first module.
Yeah.
And I've made it even harder for this third module.
When's it due?
So, good question.
Roughly how many weeks?
I'm going to say roughly 2.
Brilliant. And you haven't been to any of the classes, so strong start.
No, but they do give you the recording.
I
So-
absolutely cannot wait to roast you when it's all gone wrong. Although it reflects poorly on me, obviously, as a Yoda. I'm really happy for you, mate. I'm genuinely really happy. I think that's great news. It was always a good way to kind of, I guess, finish the pod, isn't it? Like finish an episode when it's a nice bit of news like that. But maybe we should get some suggestions from you listeners. What do you think about when Luke gets his MCIPS? Because obviously it's inevitable. What do we do to celebrate? Do we get matching MCIPS tattoos? You know, what's kind of a next logical thing? Do we shave his hair off?
Yeah, could do.
Eyebrows?
Yeah, or do I have to, I don't know, like, I have to procure, you know, you're a real man now, you have to procure your own something.
Yes. You have to start your own rival podcast. And I'll be your guest.
It's a legal requirement that you can't have two people with MCIPS running a podcast.
But well, the problem is we have to change our email address. That's the worst bit.
Well, it could still be two Lukes, one SIP.
You have to find someone called Sip and invite him to join us. Don't know, but yeah, I think let's have a think about it. I think, you know, let's see what we can do. Do we get the MCIPS logo on our calf? You know,
I'm open to hearing suggestions.
Yeah, there's got to be some great suggestions out there. Celebrating style.
Yeah, but yeah, it's been a good week then.
Congratulations.
Second essay passed, and I know now I can do 12% less work
and get 10% more. No, yeah, you can, yeah.
Because you know that's actually inefficient of me.
I think you should just write less. So 12% less. If the essay is, you know, like 3,000 words, just write 2,700 sort of vibe.
You have a 10% variance on what you can submit.
Even minimum.
You can the minimum you can write is what, 2,700. Is that 10%? Or is that 90%?
Oh yeah. So you can't do
you can't do less.
Like 10 bullet points and say have that.
Yeah, it can't be a short story.
Oh, it's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, I could, you know, you could make an emotional story. You could say like, sure, what's the best short story? Luke 10 went to CIPS land and loved it. Then they might think, oh, you know, we need to see this happen in real life. Because that's what happens, isn't it? Once you get MCIPS, you get invited, you get a free pass to CIPS land.
That's it, yeah.
CIPS land, Florida.
To be honest, though, I can't talk about that. It's an exclusive club. Yeah, it's an elite club.
Just tell me it's worth it. It's worth getting MCIPS for.
The problem is you can't negotiate.
What about all the
with
rides?
You can't negotiate.
All the attractions.
So, yeah, you just get absolutely shafted.
What are some of the rides that they have in CIPS land? Do they have like a teacups?
They may have
Spinning
a house of horrors. A house of horrors called Supply
House of
Pain.
Duck-ups.
Supply Pain. It's not a great one. Teacups, yep, they do. CIPS branded teacups. And
Nice.
a merry-go-round, similar to the one from Squid Game. If you've seen that. If you haven't, then check it out because it's an absolute banger of a tune that they play while it's going round.
We could do a CIPS games.
I think we could, you know.
We could just get, you know, those 10 junior buyers that I keep asking if anyone wants to negotiate with,
And nobody does.
and everyone picks the other option.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe we could, you know, we could, you know, they're disposable. That's what I'm trying to say.
So I do know someone in the local area who has access to a I want to say a W. It's not WWE, but it's a wrestling ring. Obviously it's not big league. It's just kind of like a, you know, the botch ones they do on the odd weekend. And maybe we ask them about one, sponsorship, obviously, because we do love a little sponsorship deal, and two, maybe just getting 10 JBs in a ring. And maybe that's when you truly worthy of your SIPS, is when you just batter with 10 junior buyers.
You can fight off 10 junior buyers.
Yeah. Then you're truly worthy. And I'll bestow upon you a golden microphone to hand over the pod.
Yes. Yeah. And then that's when you turn to ash, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's when
it.
you It's like you go out onto the cliff face and you spread your arms out in a cross shape. You
Yes.
tip your
Look
head
to
back
the
to the
sky.
sun. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
And
it.
then it's like just sort of disintegrates slowly downwards.
Beautiful. I cannot wait for that moment. I'll get rid of my back pain and I'll be a happy, happy mentor.
Yeah.
Look, I think it's been a fantastic episode. Hopefully the listeners agree. And do you want to do your little jiggy mabibbies?
Before we end, let's do
Oh.
the bulletin.
Okay.
I have two things. Firstly, we've recently been notified that we've hit 5k downloads.
Boom.
So I wanted to thank the listeners. Personal thanks to each and every download. We appreciate it. We're not quite big leagues yet, but I think with this sort of momentum, we will be soon. And you guys are early investors. So,
Yeah.
Once we do become big time and we start, owning Tranmere and owning other, where else do we say? Cayman Islands.
Yeah.
I think these first 5,000 will
The
get
real
VIP
ones.
access, the real OGs.
To Sipsland. They can come and play teacups with us in Sipsland.
Yeah. So thanks to you, first 5k. We really appreciate it. You are my first and my favorite 5k, 5,000 people. But I mean, just to kind of like perceive that for a second, and on a serious note, imagine 5,000 people like sat in a room listening to you. It's quite mad to think about.
It's crazy. And you think some people don't even want to negotiate with 10 JBs. Imagine 5,000 JBs.
5,000. Yeah, it's probably not all JBs as well. There's probably some Grand Garçons in there.
Yep. Couple of big dogs, a couple of head honchos, and a couple of mothers as well. Luke.
And a couple of private investigators as well, trying to find us for our previous crimes that we've definitely not committed.
Definitely,
in any past life.
HR and line managers are all over this. So that was your first one. What was your second?
Yes,
on the old
my
bullet?
second one was to thank my dear friend that I've just become friends with when he submitted a comment about the podcast.
No,
He submitted some feedback for us, if I could find it.
got a friend.
Some fan mail. Yep. My best friend Jim. So Jim has texted us. Jim has texted us, and I know it's a J name. You said on the
Yeah, you do.
on our group chat that we've got with me, you, and Aaron. You said like, is this your doing? But it's not. I know it's a J name.
You love
But
it. don't you?
it's nothing that I've done. So Jim has texted us on our text me button in the description. He has said, "Hi guys, I just want to thank you for the excellent podcasts. I've been studying SIPS for a while and nearly given up once or twice. Thankfully, your insights and banter help me to keep going. All the best, Jim."
Oh, mate, that's quality, that.
Yeah. My best mate, Jim.
Yeah, our best mate, Jim.
Both of our best mates. Jim, you are honorary best mates to us both. Thank you for your feedback. We really appreciate it, and thanks for texting us as well.
Yeah, and good luck on your journey, man. If it's been a rough one, if you've got any questions, anything we can help with, get in touch, and we obviously will be more than happy to give you some guidance, wisdom, or bullshit. It's up to you, really.
Yeah, we will say what we got to say, and then it's up to you to decide whether that's insightful or if that's just complete nonsense, basically.
Yeah, and I guess also, if you haven't seen it, check out the sound director's updated bio, because he's recently been caught giving a wonderful quote about his role as sound editor. So yeah, let us know what you think about that. Cheeky little bonus for those of you who've got this far in this episode. And we shall see you in the next one.
See you later.
See you later.